Okay, this is my new book. It's called Food, Mood, and IQ. Subtitle is 100 Ways to Be Happier and Smarter by me, Pete Rogers, MD. A couple things that I do that are relatively unique. I put the table of contents right on the first page. So as soon as you open it up, you're right in the table of contents. I'll usually either do that or I'll put something that I think is high value, like a bunch of beautiful paintings and quotes. Then the next thing is the first chapter is really just to set the stage. I explain why this book needed to be written. Basically, I've rewritten the textbook of psychology, psychiatry, and about a third of what's known in neurology. I've gone through tons of psychology, psychiatry, and neurology stuff, and they're full of errors, especially psychiatry. Psychiatry is a complete joke. Psychology is mostly a joke. Okay, neurology, they do a lot of good things, and I know a lot of neurologists, and they do the best they can for their patients, but a lot of neurologists are stuck in the trap of conformity. And the big universities just want them to sell drugs, and they don't update their material. And neurology is very much out of date, and they don't know nutrition and toxicology, et cetera, which also makes them do a lot of stupid stuff. So anyways, chapter 1 will be an introduction to what's the big picture. Chapter 2, though, is extraordinary. You're never going to have seen anything like chapter 2. Chapter 2 is something that I've kind of kept secret for about 40 years. And because I grew up with a psychiatrist, I saw a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of stuff about psychiatry that is going to freak you out, but it's worth knowing. So chapter 2, you definitely want to see. The rest of the book is then going to go into a lot more detail about psychology, psychiatry, neurology, and how to make yourself smarter, prevent dementia, all that. And people sometimes ask me, oh, how could you be so arrogant? No, it's obvious, okay? It's obvious. Psychology is completely stupid. And anybody can understand this. For example, psychology just goes along with whatever trend is in style. It has no moral foundation. Whatever new stupid trend comes along, they immediately accept it. And the reason is a psychologist is like a priest of modernism. And modernism is basically an evil gaslighting mechanism to destroy the country and the population. So psychology is basically most of the time rather evil. And it's not like they mean to be. Most people, they're very conformist. They just go along with whatever their field does. That's what they're paid to do. And so they do it, as Hannah Arendt had said in her book, The Origins of Totalitarianism, that most evil is banal. It's just done by normal people who do it as part of their jobs, and they don't question it, They say the same thing that was said in the 1930s. I was only following orders. I was only following orders, like the public schools. That's why we castrate children and sell them amphetamines. We're only following orders. Okay, it's BS, okay? That's why people have to have a moral foundation and make a stand against all this evil, bad stuff, or it's never going to improve. So anyways, it's a big book. It's about 600 pages, and they're big pages. It's 8.5 by 11. The print is big, 12 font, so it's easy to read. It's got tons of illustrations. I intentionally make it full of pictures. I'm trying to get in front of the webcam here. It is full of illustrations. You've never seen anything like it. It's the best book ever written about the brain by far, by a factor of 10. Because I read all the brain books that I can get my hands on. There's nothing even close, okay? I could care less what universities think, okay? I'm kind of arrogant about that because I know a lot more about them, and I'm willing to tell the truth a lot more than they are. So anyways, that's the book. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be giving some lectures from material in the book, and like I said, chapter 2 is the one you want to hear more than all the other ones in the book, but the whole book is good, but that's the one that I think is going to shock you and make you realize what the real deal is.